He's the chairman of NumerInfo and speakers of Coast Cup and NLTK Monday. And they'll be talking about the social network analysis with Python. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome David.
So first, thanks for everyone is coming. I know there's a keynote speech in room 0, so if you don't go to the wrong place, then I'm sure that today my topic is about the social network analysis with Python. And I'm David Chiu, and my company is NumerInfo. So first, I'll introduce about myself. I'm currently a co-founder of NumerInfo, a company which is responsible for doing like a big data analysis, Hadoop, and recommendation system. So if you have any requirement to these features, you can contact me. And also, I'm an S-trained micro engineer, so I was responsible for business intelligence and for customer relationship management system. And the rest will be my personal website. So if you want to contact me, or if you want to see my profile, or just to help me to add some like visitor probability, then you can click through it. Okay, first, we talk about what is social network. You see here, there's so many like kind of like social media here, like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, all kinds of it. So through it, we want to analyze our social network. That's through the social network, you can, from your perspective, you can see the relationship between you and your friend. And we want to analyze about it. But the thing is that if you just see from your aspect, you just can get limited information. So what we like to do is like to aggregate all the information together and to visualize into a graph. So from the graph or from the aggregation statistic, then you can get some insight into your relationship social network. So first, we talk about why do we want to analyze the social network, because it's like a human nature. People is very pervert, like we say, we are all people in town. We like to know what others want to do, how others do something like that. So here you can see there's a man just cross the barrier, want to see what the women do. So that's what we want to do. So what do we want to know from the social network analysis? Here's some steps that you want to know. The first is like to know who, whom, and which people are common to their social network. Like in Taiwan Wing Company, that we all know that people are like to form a small group. If you like to have like a same interest, like you want to talk about the soap opera you just seen yesterday, then you will just gather together and to talk about it. So we want to find out who is who and whom are the most common in the same group. And the second one will be like how frequency of particular people communicating with one another. Then we can say maybe they have some like affairs between them or something. And the third, well, with which social network connection generate the most value from a particular niche. There will be like if the group are all Python users, you will not say anything that's Ruby related to them. You want to sell them like things like Python and some related application on it to them. So you want to know who is your target audience. So from your social network, it's interesting that you can find your target audience. Then fourth one will be like how does geography affect your social connection in an online world? Well, that would be very interesting. Like my hometown was in Chiu, and I work in Taipei, and I also have been a exchange student in US. So I have the connection from these three areas. So like from my Facebook connection, you can find most of my friends are from Chiu, and some are from Taipei, and some are from US. And the fifth one will be what most influential and popular people in a social network. I always give an example, like in Taiwan, we have like 3 telecom company, which is Zhonghua Telecom, Taiwan Mobile Telecom, and Far East Telecom. So each of them just provide the intra-network for free. So if you want to just to gain some new customer inside, you will just find the most influential people in the group. So take the family as an example. So who's the most influential one in your family? I think most of them will be your mother, because mother controls the budget. So you just give in like a promote to the mother and say, okay, if you join the network, then I can give you like a discount of it. Then mother will say, okay, I'll join your network, and just bring like her son, her daughter, her husband, and everyone related to her will come into the group. And then we want to know like what are people chatting about and is it valuable? So one thing is like we all know about Korean soap opera like Love from the Star, and we know like if you watch the movie, then maybe you will just tend to like to eat like Korean fried chicken or like to take a beer. So you will want to know who's the specific user who likes the soap opera, so we can promote these things to them. And that's we say what are people interested in based upon the human language and use the digital world. So in the following demonstration, I will show you how to fulfill this with Python. But because that we are in a world in Taiwan, so most of the people in Taiwan use the Facebook. So I just take the Facebook as an example here. So first, I will introduce about how Facebook to do the connection. It provides a mechanism called the O-auth2 mechanism. So what's the relationship between the O-auth2 mechanism? Now you see here is the resource owner name is you. Then you send your request to register and to get the information from Facebook. It was sent directly to the client. And the client will go to the Facebook server and say, hey, this one wants to log in. So the Facebook will just generate a login page here back to the resource owner. So whenever he types like a username and password, then we'll just back to the server and Facebook say, yeah, he's the resource owner. Then give a token to the client. And the token will be given back to the resource owner. So the resource owner can use like a token to access the Facebook. So here is an example of my application. Like I made an application, here I provide like two login. One is the Facebook login and one is the Google login. So whenever I type in like login to Facebook, it just directly redirect me back to the Facebook. So in the Facebook, I type my username and password. I will redirect back to my application, and I can operate my Facebook information on it. So that's pretty much about the O-auth2 flow for the whole things. Then we want to know how to connect to the Facebook. And Facebook provides a protocol called a Graph Explorer. So from the Graph Explorer, then you can connect to a Facebook and get an access token. So let's see how the Facebook Explorer can do. So here we type like a Facebook developer here. And for the Facebook developer, then you can see there's a page about it. And it also shows the conference about the F8. And here it says that there's a tool called the Graph Explorer here. And here we just give the token open on it. The access token is very dangerous. That means that when you steal my access token, then you can steal all my profile. So that's very tricky. So I cannot let you copy mine. So first, I would say like the access token. You will just include some access token you can fetch from the user's data or extended permission. So if you just say it right, it even can help you to post some messages on your wall or on your friend's wall. So that's pretty spooky. So when you get an access token, you just copy it into it. Then you can just use the submit to get some information here. Like here, you can get my name and get my ID for Facebook ID here. So back to here, I would say, okay, that's how to connect Facebook. So you can get an access token, and you can set a user permission. So once you say all of this information, like my hometown, location, interest, like, and friend's hometown, location, interest, like, and things like that, you can read my permission, you can know who's my friend, and know something like that. So I just copy the token. So next, I will use the token to access the Facebook and get all the information here. So let's start to doing like the social network analysis with Python. Let's hack. First one will be getting information from Facebook. That's the 101, the very elementary of getting information from Facebook. So first we'll take on the API Explorer. The API have like a different version now because it restricted some limited function for it. Like here, I can get my information, like I type me here. I can get all my information, even my high school and the things that my university can get all the information from just typing the me here. So from the Facebook analysis, you use Python, it will be the same. To do the same, I will have some requested package to install. First one will be the request. You can send in the HTTP request to retrieve data from Facebook. And the second one will be JSON. You can pass in the JSON format responded. So let's first do the Facebook connection. It'll be pretty easy. You just import the request and JSON, and you put a token into it, and you say me and with the SS token. And you make a request.get, then just load the response.txt text, and with a JSON load. And load your information, and you just print it out. So you can get pretty much the same result I've got from the Graph Explorer. But here comes the question. We need to have a harder question. Who likes my post the most? They will be also as easy. Like before, like I type me, I get my information. So if I type like a post here, I can pretty much like get all the information, all the posts I've got from Facebook. So I can get all the information like that. So I want to mimic this action. So how do I mimic this action? So first I'll just type the post here and use the request.get, the same things. And I just to pass the JSON format. So from the first one will be for post in FE data, and for likes. I go get all the ID and name and just to give a simple statistic by using the dictionary. That's fairly simple. But there's a very simple, so I want to ask a harder questions, like question, what's people talking about? I said that we can use some text mining to get what people talking about. So I have a small idea. It's like in 2 months ago, people are talking about like a cross-trade agreement as example. So my interest is like, okay, I got friend list. I can read all their posts. So I just get all their posts like 3 months ago and getting them together. And I want to know whom or whom is talking about the cross-trade agreement. So in here, I'll just use a simple regular expression like ra.search with 符号. I want to know like who are talking about this. And as a result, I got this. Well, the information is so sensitive, so it's all black. So in Taiwan, we call it like 黑箱. Okay. So as for my statistics, I see almost all my posts is all about the 符号, but actually it's only about 20% of people are talking about 符号, so they are very enthusiastic about this topic. Other than that, most of them doesn't talk about it on Facebook. And next one, I will say, I want to do a more serious learning. There was a text mining here. So in text mining, then we all know like Python have a tool called NLTK. Well, sorry, my Facebook speaks Mandarin, so they cannot use NLTK. So here you provide another tool called Gephi. I think that if you heard like the introduction from Andy Dai, then you know that Gephi is a tokenization tool for Chinese. So in here, I can use the Gephi for work tokenization, so I can get the most frequent word that people talk about in the Facebook. So that's a simple idea that I can operate on. Then we need to ask a harder question. How to identify social groups from the social Facebook network? So out here, I use some required packaging. Here, the first one will be a NetworkX to analyze social network. And the second one will be the community to detect the social communities. And for the first one, the social network analysis tool, the mostly have introduced another one. So if you're interested, you can ask about that. And the second one will be like community is like exploring the connected graphs, also called a click on the graph, which is an NP hard question. So if you want to get these things, like I have to use another tool or algorithm for it. So here it has implemented like a heuristic algorithm. And you use the Lovin method to find a community with it. And to do this will be fairly simple. First, let us to characterize the question. So what's the social network like? So from this graph you see like for social network, main is like a node here, and the connection is like an edge here. So we want to get the information of the network and just plug into a plot to get further insight into it. So how do we to build a friendship matrix? So it's very simple. Like we can use the package called NetworkX. First, we import NetworkX as an X for the abbreviation. Then we can use the Facebook and get like the mutual friends. The mutual friends will list the friends related to him and just get the information all back. we just log into like a dictionary, and then we just build a graph with nx.graph here. Then we add edge between me and my friends for the first time. Then I add the edge between friends and my friends. And I add all the nodes into the graph. That's a simple idea that we can do. So I can build a friend matrix for it. Then simply we can draw a network plot here. But from the network plot, you just see the red dots and like a pretty bad shade here. You cannot see anything. So from here, you cannot do any kind like for further analysis. So we want like to do a deeper analysis. First, we can say like for network analysis, if you are just keen into this topic, then you know that there's some characteristic and property that you can calculate. Some like betweenness, degree centrality, closeness centrality. You can all done with the NetworkX package. Then next, we move to the community detection. So from the community detection, I say that the community, this package provides the login method. So you can use like a heuristic method to find the partition of the graph. So here I just define a function called find partition here that input the graph into here. Then he will just do a heuristic search and to separate your friend network into different groups. Let's say the partition, community.base partition here. I'll just return a new graph with all the things being partitioned. So then I say, okay, we got these communities and want to draw the social network community. So from the partition network, I just put the things in here. So for every group, I just list all of them out. And list all of them out, I just put into a new graph. From a new graph, I use the matplotlib and to plot it. So plot it, now I have a graph. You see people are separated into a different group with a different color. But will you say how to analyze it because it's a static image. You cannot do a serious analysis about it. So seriously, how do we do it? So first, I will introduce a standalone tool called Gephi. So Gephi is an open source graph visualization and manipulation software. So you can operate on the social network. So here we open like a Gephi here. I'll do it from the start. I open a Gephi here. Well, Gephi is built on Java, so like here, like you can open here. There's the graph from my personal network. So you here see there's like I have 200 friends and the age of 2000, and here I just load it into it. Then you can see the lines and dots here. You cannot do any serious analysis for it. But here it provides some like algorithm you can operate on it, like page rank, modularity, hits, graph density, all kinds of it. So we do it very simply. I just took the run here, ignore the parameter, and it just show you like for all your friends. It's been partitioned into like 7 groups with different kind of size distribution here. Then you close it here, then we got the nodes here. You just click on the refresh, and we see the friends can be partitioned into a different modularity class. So in here, we use apply. Then you can see some colors in the network, but it's still very hard to analyze it. So you choose a layout to change the layout of the graph. Then we use the algorithm called the force atlas here. So the force atlas is a very interesting algorithm. So it says that if in the graph they are in the same group, they have the much like a cluster, their linkage will be stronger. But if they are apart, they will have like a stronger relationship, a weaker relationship. So just drawing into this kind of graph. So you can now clearly see all the nodes are being partitioned into different groups here. But in here, we still cannot do a serious analysis yet because we don't have any text on it. So I just want to add some text on it. I just click on it. I want to add some text with font size with 12 and put T here. Okay. Then now I can see some names on it. So from here, I can tell some story here because it's my social network. For my social network, you can see there's a whole bunch of big clusters here because for my first company, I stay in a small company. So for a small company, people are connected to each other. If you are not connected into this group, there must be something wrong. And then we can see there's one node here, which stands right here, but doesn't belong to here, because the node is a girlfriend of one member. So that explains all. And here, then you can see many kind of relationship. Like here, you have like for my high school, for my university, and all kinds of my friends. And for like an open source community, they are all rounded here, because they know some of them, but not all of them, something like that. So there will be like a cluster in the middle of it. And in the very centrality, there will be me, myself. Okay, so you can use Gephi to do some kind of serious like analysis of it. Then I want to analyze more through the Gephi, like the gender. Okay, from here you can see like I use the showing the pie, and here you can see about 70% of my friends are male, only 20% of my friends are female, and some are none. I don't know who are they. So it will be very pity for a student from an engineering background. They don't have like a female classmate or colleague. Very few. And also like you can take some other approach like hometown and location. Then you can show in the pie, you can see like, okay, most of my friends come from Taipei and some of them come from Jiayi. And that's the simple things I can do with Gephi. But something will complain that Gephi is it's a standalone tool. It's not strong enough. I want to get all the things straight. That means the back end to the front end very straight with Python code. So I say one more thing. Here I just to build a own data service. My own data service is using the database of PostgreSQL. And middle server side I use the Django and Django Social Auth. And from the client side I use the JS NetworkX and Backbone.js. And I'm not a very good designer, so I buy design from ThemeForest for $16 US. Then I just build a service called Jumi.com. Interesting name, Jumi.com, yeah. So first, I'll talk about what is Jumi.com. And Jumi.com will be a service to analyze your social network and your friend's social network. So I use a Facebook login, so I have login, so it doesn't ask me my permission. But if you want to log in, it will ask you about some permission. Then I can get you access token to doing something very bad. No, I won't do that. Okay, so from that, I can get like who likes me the most. Like I have one post in 1 month ago. So who are the people have clicked like on me and the statistic. And the words I like to use the most, because I was responsible for the registration team in PyCon. So all of my posts is about Kaimai. And for my post, there's only one post, so my average like will be 68, and most total like will be 68 from it. But that's one thing. People don't want to analyze themselves. They want to analyze others. So I can see all my friends here. Because I'm afraid that to expose some of my friends' information, I just click one as an example. Okay, like here, you will see like, he has many posts, and those are the people who like him the most. Most of them are male. And here they will have like some like DAO national of 受害者公司, and that's the keywords he used the most. And the average likes he received the most total likes. And then I said that Gephi is just a tool for standalone tool. We want to get very serialized like front end. We want like to visualize with like JavaScript. How do we do that? Here there's an alternative solution you can use. One is called like df3.js, but you can use the JS NetworkX. It's a JavaScript port of NetworkX graph library. So you can see from here the credit. You can see NetworkX, df3.js, Node.js, something like that. So I just use the df3.js to do the visualization. So if I use the package, how do I visualize my social network? So I here. Okay. So here, you see, here will be my social network here. So it's just like the Gephi. Then you can zoom in and zoom out. It's pretty interesting because it keeps on moving and I cannot make it stop. So you see, at first I use the community package to generate a partition of each different group. And for the group, I just lay out into on here with the JS networks. So I use the Django API serve as an API. So the JavaScript just directly code from the API, then get a social network from it. So through the JS networks, you can also do the same things like that. So then you don't have to install Gephi for the use of it. But if you want to really operate on Gephi, you can use the Gephi, but I don't introduce that for it. So I think I'm running out of time, so it's the end of my talk. So welcome for any questions here.
You guys have questions? Just push the one button.
Okay. I saw that you use NLTK, Natural Language Toolkit.
No, I use Gephi instead of NLTK because most of my friends use the Mandarin. So Gephi is a word organization tool for Mandarin.
So you have your own natural language library to analyze Mandarin?
Yes, yeah, we call it Gephi. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How
implemented in mainland China. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I'm also interested in how to create my own language, natural language. So how long is this being developed, and who's developed the toolkit for the Mandarin language?
I think the tool has been developed like in 3 or 4 years ago, and it's still in very keen development. The author has just I see the GitHub push is like every day he will give a new release on it.
Any other? Okay. Thank you, David.